Patrick Beverley's highly anticipated debut in Tel Aviv didn't exactly go as planned. The excitement and buzz surrounding his arrival quickly turned into a night of frustration and missed opportunities. The veteran guard, known for his tenacious defense and fiery personality, struggled to find his footing on the court. His usual aggressive style seemed to be missing, and he couldn't quite connect with his teammates. This wasn't the first time Beverley's actions have come under scrutiny. Throughout his career, he's been a polarizing figure, often making headlines for his controversial plays and outspoken nature. His move to Tel Aviv followed a suspension from the NBA, leaving fans and analysts wondering if he could redeem himself. The transition to a new league and a new country was always going to be challenging, but the pressure on Beverley was immense. Beverley's performance in Tel Aviv was a far cry from his days as a defensive stalwart in the NBA. Back then, he was known for his relentless energy and ability to shut down some of the best players in the league. He seemed out of sync, his shots weren't falling, and his usual intensity was nowhere to be found. It was as if the weight of expectations had taken a toll on his game. The crowd, eager to see their new star in action, was left disappointed. They had hoped for a dazzling debut, but instead, they witnessed a player struggling to find his rhythm. This rough start begs the question: can Beverley bounce back from this setback and regain his status as a premier player? Only time will tell if he can adapt to his new environment and rise to the challenge once again. To understand the weight of Beverley's struggles, we need to rewind to the incident that led to his NBA suspension. This moment was a turning point in his career, a pivotal event that would shape his future in the league. During a high-stakes playoff game, Beverley was caught on camera delivering a cheap shot to an opponent, sparking outrage and condemnation from fans, players, and analysts alike. The incident quickly went viral, with clips circulating on social media and sports news outlets. This wasn't just a hard foul in the heat of the moment, it was a blatant act of unsportsmanlike conduct that crossed the line. The referees immediately called a foul, and the tension on the court escalated as players and coaches reacted to the shocking behavior. The NBA came down hard on Beverley, suspending him for a significant portion of the following season. The league's disciplinary action was swift and severe, sending a clear message that such behavior would not be tolerated. This suspension sent shockwaves through the league as it became clear that the NBA was taking a stand against such behavior. Analysts debated the impact of the suspension on Beverley's career, while fans expressed a mix of disappointment and support. For Beverley, it was a harsh reality check, a moment that forced him to confront his actions and their consequences. He spent countless hours reflecting on his behavior, realizing the gravity of his mistake and the need to change his approach both on and off the court. In the aftermath of the suspension, Beverley issued a public apology, acknowledging his mistake and expressing remorse for his actions. He vowed to learn from the experience and return to the court a changed player. Whether these apologies were genuine or simply an attempt to salvage his career remains to be seen. Actions speak louder than words, and all eyes were on Beverley as he took the court in Tel Aviv. Would he be able to back up his words with his performance? Could he channel his trademark intensity into positive contributions on the court? The jury is still out, but his debut performance did little to inspire confidence. Beverley's debut in Tel Aviv was a stark contrast to the high expectations surrounding his arrival. He seemed out of his element, struggling to keep up with the pace of the game. His shots were off target, and his usually suffocating defense was nowhere to be found. The crowd, initially excited to witness Beverley's intensity firsthand, grew increasingly restless as the game wore on. It was clear that Beverley was pressing, trying too hard to make a statement. This led to forced shots, turnovers, and a general lack of composure. Section 5. Fan frustration. Social media sounds off on Beverley. As expected, social media erupted with reactions to Beverley's disappointing debut. Fans, who had eagerly awaited his arrival, didn't hold back their criticism. Comments ranged from expressions of disappointment to outright calls for him to be benched. "Is this the same Patrick Beverley we saw in the NBA?" one fan questioned. "He looks lost out there," another commented. The overwhelming sentiment was that Beverley had failed to live up to the hype. Section 6. A glimmer of hope. Finding support amidst the criticism. Despite the wave of negativity, there were some voices of support for Beverley. Some fans urged patience, reminding everyone that it takes time for players to adjust to new teams and leagues. They pointed to Beverley's work ethic and determination as reasons for optimism. "Give him time," one fan pleaded. "He'll find his groove eventually." These voices of encouragement, while outnumbered, offered a glimmer of hope that Beverley could still turn things around. Section 7. Silence speaks volumes. Beverley's ESPN standoff. Adding fuel to the fire, Beverley refused to answer questions from ESPN reporters after the game. This silence was deafening, further fueling speculation and criticism. Was he trying to avoid accountability, or was he simply overwhelmed by the pressure? Beverley's silence spoke volumes. It conveyed a sense of defiance, a refusal to engage with the media that had been so critical of him. This standoff only served to intensify the spotlight on his struggles and raise more questions about his future. Section 8. What's next? Potential consequences loom large. Beverley's future in Tel Aviv, and perhaps even his basketball career, hangs in the balance. If he can't turn things around quickly, he could face serious consequences. This could include a diminished role on the team, further damage to his reputation, and even the possibility of his contract being terminated. The pressure is on for Beverley to prove that he can still be a valuable asset on the court. He needs to rediscover his game, regain the trust of his teammates and coaches, and silence the critics who are already writing him off. Section 9. The final word. Beverley's future hangs in the balance. Patrick Beverley's debut in Tel Aviv was a disaster by any measure. The veteran guard, known for his defensive prowess and relentless energy, found himself struggling to keep up with the pace of the game. His shots were off target, and his usual defensive intensity seemed to wane. From his on-court struggles to his standoff with the media, it was a night to forget for the veteran guard. The press conference was tense, with reporters questioning his performance and future in the league. Beverley, visibly frustrated, had no clear answers. The question now is whether he can bounce back from this setback. Beverley has always been known for his resilience and work ethic. He has faced numerous challenges throughout his career and has always managed to come out stronger. This time, the stakes are higher. Can Beverley regain his form and prove that he still has what it takes to compete at a high level? His fans and teammates are hopeful, believing in his ability to turn things around. A few good games could change the narrative entirely. Or will this be the beginning of the end for a player once known for his tenacity and heart? The pressure is immense and the clock is ticking. Beverley must dig deep and find the strength to overcome this hurdle. One thing is certain: the basketball world is watching closely, eager to see what the future holds for Patrick Beverley. His next few games will be crucial in determining his legacy and future in the sport. The anticipation is palpable, and everyone is waiting to see if Beverley can rise to the occasion.